Talk. It gets in your head, right? Go.
Five, four, three, two, one.
The tallies aren't on, but we're just gonna hit it. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Noelle, the one and only No Heezy. No, baby, no. Coco. It's been a long time coming, Noelle.
It's been a very long time. I'm happy to be back, everybody.
How long has it been?
At least a month, right? At least.
Maybe. It feels like no time has passed. You belong here, no. Come back to us, no. Thank you for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me.
So let us both let everyone know, because I've had people comment on the newer podcast. Where's Coco? Where's Coco? So let's just dive straight into why did we part ways? Why did we break up?
Why did we break up? Well,
How would you? Well, I'm gonna leave this in. What would you say?
okay,
first?
so I would say I've
You're
people
like,
ask.
fuck Jasmine, she's a fucking
I'm like,
bitch.
like I don't want to ever see her. No, so
You're like, she paid me to be on today.
I'm like, I hated that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hated it. But I say, from obviously when people ask me, I rather chose friendship over what we had. I mean, what we did was amazing. Obviously, like I don't regret it. I'm not like, oh my god, I hated
We
it.
sound like a relationship. Like what we had was beautiful.
Like that's just kind of what I felt like at the end of the day. I'm just like, you know what? Like I just don't want it to go into deeper and like us just fall apart. Cause I don't know, like I do hear a lot. It's like when you like are in business with somebody, or like you do move in with a friend, or like you do move in, like
I've heard that
you know,
too.
like they end up splitting ways. You know.
Even with family, I've heard like the
Yeah.
same
So
type
like
of,
they say like never really to do that. So, I say not that like we ever got there, but I just feel like before anything was to go that way, I think it was just. I think for me, it was just more like, you know what? I fuck with Jasmine. I want Jasmine to be in my life until I freaking die, until like forever and ever. So at this point, it's just best
like,
for
so
me
I'm
to
not
step
gonna
back.
Just rock her ass and lay her out.
I'm like, I wanted to beat her ass. Like, but it's cool. I'm like, wait, no, nothing like that. Like I said, I obviously love doing it with you. I'm happy we did it. You know, brought me out of my shell. I've never talked in front of cameras, so now I'm so easy, well spoken. I'm like, oh, I can talk all day. But
you're like, now I have my own show.
I'm like, now I have my show.
This.
I'm like, but no. So that's kind of really what it was. I rather chose friendship, and I wanted you to stick around forever, and I didn't want it to just be like, you know, it get in the way in the middle of us.
Did you feel like it was tearing our friendship apart though?
No, I don't. No,
I don't. Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But I just felt like it was gonna come to that eventually. Like,
okay.
And then for me, I hate confrontation. I hate like, you know, like I don't really like to speak up on what I feel. Like when I feel some way, like I don't ever be like, oh my god, you made me feel this way, or I didn't like this. And that's obviously bad on me, because it's like, you know, I should be able to speak on whatever I felt or how I felt. And really, I made things worse for myself. You know, just little things. I'm not saying you did ever anything wrong, but I'm just saying like I'm not mature enough to like yet have confrontation with anybody. So like, I just feel like there was a certain point where I was just like, you know what, like before it even gets down that road or even starts, like it's just best for me just to fall back, you know.
So would you say like we had our differences, or like how would you put it in some terms?
I kind of
want to give it a little, not like crazy specifics, but I kind of want them to know like, well, how would you put it, and then I'll put it after.
I don't really think we had differences. I feel like me and you both don't really, when there's something bugging us, we don't speak up on it then. We just are like, just later. And, or we just kind of hold it in, and I feel like that's kind of where we weren't flowing. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like we're supposed to be comfortable to say like, hey, Jasmine, like, you made me feel this way. Even on a regular basis, like, I would never do that. And I feel like I said that for me, I felt like I wasn't, even if it was anything small, like I never brought it up or I never mentioned it. And I feel like that's how you are too. You just don't ever bring anything up. We bring it up when it's just like later on, and it's like, you know. So I feel like that's kind of. I feel like me and you just don't know how to like tell each other when we hurt each other's feelings, or like, hey, just I don't like this about you, or do this for me. That's how I feel.
So okay, so you're saying we broke up because we couldn't communicate well between like as a team?
There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, you know, just yeah, that's really it. But like for me, it was mostly I just rather fall back because I rather choose our friendship than
Okay.
you know, whatever we were doing this obviously. But that's how I feel. What do you feel?
I feel like I guess
You're
I
like-
agree with that. I
you're
think
like
we were just
nothing?
both on different. Like I'm numb.
You're like I don't feel anything.
What
I
are
don't have a heart.
feelings?
You're like I don't have a heart.
Feel? Oh my god, I don't know what that is. Yeah, I just think I think everything did go smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, amazing.
And I
smoothly.
do feel that sometimes when we were trying to pick guests,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like I would want someone or you would or vice versa, and it would be like one of us would be like, no, I don't want them, or I don't want, you know. So that was, which I get that, which anyone goes through that. Like when you're a team, you have to both decide. So that was like something where we wouldn't agree on the same person, and then also too, I think we were just both like, at the end, I feel like we were just like everything was still smooth, but then it just kind of, I feel like we both agreed to just like, I wanted to carry on, and then you said you had a lot of trips coming up this summer, and you also were juggling your work and stuff like that. So it kind of just, we both mutually agreed to, we're just like, I was like, well,
you're
we
right,
just had a discussion, and then it just kind of ended up, you're like, I want to do this, and I'm like, well, you know, like then it's good. It's like a win-win for both of us. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, so that's how it's nothing. That's how I wonder if people are like, oh, they fucking hashed it out.
Yeah.
They were like,
but there never really was. I just, like I said, I really, honestly, I just didn't want to ever get whatever we had going on in the way, you know? And I felt like that's really what it was. Like people ask me and I'm like, oh, like.
Do you think if it would have kept going, it would have ruined our friendship?
I don't think so. I feel like, no, I just felt like
beyond that. Like we would have.
No, very beyond, but I think
our feelings would have got hurt.
For me, like I said, like I'm not yet at the point where like anybody, like tell somebody like how I feel or communicating better. Like I have really bad communication issues, so like for whatever, if you did something I didn't like I would have hold that in, you know, like or not really brought it up, you know. So like I said, I don't think it would have obviously made it, but I don't like being in uncomfortable situations or having any type of confrontation, and I just feel like me holding something in, and obviously like that's unfair to you, you know. I feel like that obviously wouldn't have separated us, but then I would have been like, oh my gosh, I don't like to do it.
It would have brought tension in like the work aspect as opposed to our friendship aspect.
Like, and it would have been whose fault? Well, mine, because I'm not saying anything, or like, you know. But like I said, I love doing it with you. If it wasn't really for you, I wouldn't feel like I would have done it. You know, I wouldn't have done it, but I wouldn't just like, oh, I want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And obviously Mama D, she pushed us.
Yes.
But
You said you guys can't hear anything? Sorry, I'm hearing them in the background. Sorry, not to interrupt. Oh, okay. I'm like.
But yeah, so I'm thankful we did it. I'm happy. I love it. I feel like I can speak out in public now, or like speak in front of cameras. I'm so like.
Oh, because of the experience.
Yes, for the experience. Yeah.
It makes you at least somewhat more comfortable because you were in front of them. And
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like stuttering, or like, oh my gosh.
Did you kind of miss it now that you're back in front of it?
I do. I definitely do. I'm like, damn, you know, I miss like having like a schedule. Like Thursday, I gotta be here. I gotta, you know, be this on time. I gotta make sure Jasmine's there. I gotta make sure I'm there. So that I do miss being here. I'm like, damn, like feels good. It feels like I'm home.
We never really announced like the separation of us separating because I know we did it through text ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you feel like we should have told everybody like, hey, public announcement, it's separating? Because the way that it kind of happened is like we talked one-on-one, and then I just, you know, kind of just made the promo for mine. And then do you feel like we should have announced it, or I don't know, do you think we should have been like, everybody, this is what's happening, or whatever, or the way we did it was like, that's cool?
I would say no, but I feel like the professional way we probably should have.
But
you know, like the professional
standpoint. It makes it
standpoint.
more juicy though this time.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like the professional way, yes, but like now looking right now, I'm like, no, because people want to know. You know, they want to know like why.
We're keeping it under wraps.
I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, this podcast is for us saying what happened between us, but we're like, psych, no, we're not saying.
I was wondering too.
Are you guys okay? Like, and they never were like, oh my gosh, like they're like, oh, I just thought like one of you guys just was so busy doing something else that that's
Yeah.
what it was, or one just carried on. Like, yeah, I'm like, that's kind of what it was, like, you know. So
You're like, I'm on that rock star shit. You feel me?
I'm like, you feel, you dig, you dig.
But you were saying that you would come every Thursday. You missed that. So speaking of every Thursday, that I mentioned earlier, Lighthouse.
Oh my
Closed
gosh,
down. And how
Yes.
long did you work there for?
worked there for coming on almost 3 years.
When would have been your 3-year anniversary?
First week of July.
Really? Just
Yeah.
shy of 3
So just
years?
yeah,
Dang, no.
I know.
And I knew you right before you got hired there too.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, that was in July. Yeah, so June, July. Mm-hmm.
Did
So,
you cry at all when they don't? Honestly, did
No,
you
honestly,
cry?
no, I didn't.
Not at all. Not even like watery eyes.
No, but you know what? Okay, so you know what hurt me most was obviously when like the pandemic obviously was first started, and they were like, okay, we're closed, like we don't know when we're gonna open. That definitely hurt me. I was like, oh fuck, you know. The first 2 weeks obviously of that not working, I was like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Like, oh my god, I'm always working on the weekends. What's gonna happen? But now that time's passing, like I was like, people would ask me like, are you excited to go back to work? And I honestly would be like, no. Like I love just being home, and I'm like, I love just having weekends off. Granted, there's nothing to do, but I'm like, just to have the opportunity to be home like on a weekend night and not having to stay up till 3-4 in the morning, and like your sleep schedule off during the weekdays. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I love being home. So when she had told us, I was like, I was sad more in the way of like, damn, like I always, when people ask me like, what do you plan to do long term? And I'm like, well, I'm like, obviously like waitressing, like I'm planning to stick that out until I'm like, you know, I'm like, and the older, and like, and the older you get, the better they like you, the more they want to hire you, the more they want to keep you around. And like I said, like obviously the older you get, the more money you make. It's like just the status. So I literally was just thinking like, damn, I can be there till like 30, 35. Like,
then I asked you too. I'm like, now that they close, what are you gonna do?
yeah, so
what are
that
you gonna do now? Have you thought?
people have asked me, are you going back to a club? I might.
Which a lot of them are opening up. If not, some
Soon.
have already. But
Yes.
yeah.
But I definitely will get back. I just feel like I would only go to like well-known clubs.
Like where? Name some. Drop some names. Throw it out there.
Nightingales,
Okay.
Hyde. Maybe like Crazy Girls, Bootsies,
the
Poppy.
Sam's?
Probably not Sam's no more. No. But just really like obviously well known. But other than that, I would not do nothing else. I wouldn't be like, like it ain't worth it.
It's a no go.
No, it's a no go. It ain't for me. But
So you're really not sad about it. You're just like, it is what it is. Next part of life, next chapter. Let's turn the page.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am sad. I feel like it probably maybe hasn't even hit me. But I just think I'm just taking it almost as like just a blessing. Like maybe there's something better out there for me. You know, I'm like, or maybe there's a better club that's willing to pay me even more. Or I'm willing to, you know, get more tips out of there. I don't know.
When you went to play house to like do your last paperwork and stuff, were like your coworkers sad, or what was the vibe or the feel
I
on it?
honestly didn't see anybody. I haven't seen any of them.
You had to do the paperwork like Kat did, right? Or no? Or you didn't go in at all?
No.
Oh,
What
okay.
what paperwork?
Kat? I don't know. Or maybe, I don't know if it was like a
Or
good
maybe
vibe.
she-
She just told me that she's like, she did a video of like a couple of them in there, like, that she had to go in for some last.
Oh, we
Unless it
didn't
was
have
like
to do
maybe like
paperwork.
then
Or maybe it was something different. Paperwork.
Yeah, maybe it was like who knows. So you haven't gone in then since it closed?
Yes, I have.
Oh, okay.
I have. But like I said, I'm not really like. I mean, I am sad. I'm just not like, you know, like, oh my gosh, this. I think I'm just more sad. Like, okay, what am I gonna do long term? You know, like, I thought that was gonna be my long term. But I think that's my only worry right now. But who knows? I might be back into the nightlife. I might
chilling.
not.
Keep them on their toes. No,
Yeah.
don't give too much away.
Don't give too much information, always say. So we'll see, guys. We'll see what I do. We'll see. I don't know yet. I have a couple of options, but I just want to see what I want to do. And especially they say like lockdown, there might be a second lockdown happening
in LA.
Yeah, just because like the cases are going up, so it's just like I don't want to get too far ahead and then this lockdown happen again, and then it's like great, it's like
pause and all that.
So still on pause. So yeah, like I have time to think about what I want to do, and I do want to get back into nightlife. So we'll see. I'll definitely miss it though. What do you think when you found out that Playhouse was closed?
Well, because
everybody was literally like
my
heartbroken.
First reaction was like obviously because London told me first, and I'm like, I was happy in the sense of because I feel like London loves the lifestyle of promoting. Like,
yeah,
he doesn't even love like he just loves the lifestyle. I feel like that type of stuff, and so I'm like, once it was
the lifestyle can get to you.
Yeah, you just get lost in the sauce. So
yeah.
I was like, I felt happy because I'm like, cool, good. Like, okay, no more Playhouse. You gotta live your normal life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, not in a bad way.
But it's not bad. Like I said, the lifestyle does get to you, and I feel like that's.
It didn't get to me. Have you ever, even since you first started, have you ever kind of got a little bit caught up, and you're like, whoa, can we just like come back?
Of course, definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's very easy. Yeah. It's very easy, but like I said, maybe that's probably why like I'm not like, oh my gosh.
Especially because when in the club, especially because you were there one of the longest, if not the longest girls, you hold status, and you know what I mean. Like you have like. You were the lead this, lead that. Like, it's no. Like, you have power there. Like, if anyone were to come in, you can get anybody in.
Yeah,
like, whether it was a guy or a girl, like, yeah, they can come in. So, I feel like anywhere that you hold power in any job, it just, not that it gets to your head, but you know it. Like, you know you could do this, you could do that.
Yeah.
Like, you want another, like, every time I would even, when I worked there, like, all the time, sometimes you'd be like, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. Like, you would tell me, or even before I worked there, you would be like, oh, you want a drink of this or drink of that? Like, you were straight. You're like, you're good. You're good because, like, it's like your stomping grounds. It's like your playground. So you run it and you see everything and you know, so.
And I feel like that's what it is. I feel like I'll miss, like, when I do go into a club, I'll miss working instead of going to a club. It's different when you're actually partying, like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, you got to be like, oh my gosh, like, you got to watch what you're doing. Like, if anybody starts shit with you, like, you're always like, oh my gosh, like, like, I feel like it's just a lot of shit you got to worry about. Like, okay, do I have to, like, is anybody getting a table? Am I going with people that are getting a table? Like, like, obviously it's all of that, but when you work at a club, it's like, even when you're off day, you just go in, come out. Even when you're working, like, you're just in the mix. Like, life is so easy, and especially how LA is so hard to, like, get into clubs and, like, like, obviously everything's more expensive. When you're actually working in a club and you know people, and it's so easy to come in and go and, like, not wait, and like, oh no, you don't have to wait in line, you just come right in. It's obviously feels really good, but I know it's like, it gets people, it sucks people in. It's the lifestyle, don't get me wrong, but that's why one thing I'm like, I couldn't let that take over me.
Any last words for you Playhouse life?
Man, I don't.
Is it a big no? Did you go out with the bang?
You know what I did? I have to say, I definitely did. There's so many memories.
Yeah. Not like lover, but like just relationships overall.
Definitely, my clients. Oh my gosh, I made really good off my clients. Have really close friends out of them, and I honestly, like, if it wasn't for Playhouse, I wouldn't know, like, what this lifestyle of LA is. I would still be trying to get in somewhere, but
hey, you still know me.
I know, yeah, I would. I definitely would, but I'm happy that I got to experience this, and we'll see if I continue. I love Playhouse, and on to a new chapter to be continued.
On to the next episode,
part 2 to figure out what I'm going to do.
So we're wrapping up. Imagine.
You're like, okay, and that's it, because we're like, we're not going to give spoilers. And that's it. You're like, tune in the next time. So, yeah, we'll see. R.I.P. Rest in peace. Throw a little alcohol on the floor for them,
You're still like nonchalant about it too. When I was talking to Kat was like, I feel like she was like, wow, this is so sad. Even Callie and Andrew were like, it's like the end of an era, they were saying.
Yes, it definitely is.
It's 11 years.
11 years, especially, I think it was this month, 11 years. So that obviously is insane. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, I definitely feel it. But I feel like I can, like, I feel like I got enough experience. I know people that I can,
Like that's not to y'all, but this is the beginning of me. So
Oh no, not like that. But I just, I feel like I can go somewhere else if I really wanted to. And it's just, I'm not worried. I'm like, and if I can't, then obviously it's open to something new. Like there's something better out there for me. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know.
no, just does not know.
Where are you gonna, like, obviously now the Playhouse is not open. Where would you like your second pick
Well,
go?
Penthouse has been open, but
Mhm.
I don't care to go. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the whole quarantine time is just strange. And from what I've heard, it's just everyone's just like super far in the clubs, and then there's a lot of space. And then I heard, I mean, you gotta walk. Like, let's say though, like you're going to the club with your like little mini dress on, your heels, and you're like waiting, and like before, even if you have a table, like you gotta walk. I guess you gotta. I heard you gotta walk up still with your mask. You gotta walk in with your mask, and then when you get to the table, you take it off.
Ugly.
And then when you leave, you have to put your mask back on. So it's just like it's a bit extra and much. Like I'm not really going out. I'm like if I want to drink on my own, or I'm like I'll drink somewhere else.
That's so ugly.
Imagine you have a fire ass outfit. You're like,
And
oh,
you got
my
a
mask, my mask.
fucking mask on. That's what I like. That's why I'm like I wish Playhouse would have stayed open just to see what we would have done. Because I'm like,
We should try it one time.
and we're such a big club, so I'm like, would there have been like only one every other table? Like, and then would it look so empty? I don't know. I wish we would have seen, but hopefully we're not going into a second lockdown because I know like cases are rising up. So,
You want to do our questions?
yeah, you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of. Okay. So we're going to do now.
And just keep.
I don't know. I guess I looked on YouTube. It's called Truth or Shot, but we did our own twist on it because from what I saw, I was watching other people's videos. You can do either like a truth or dare, or like if it's not true, drink, but something like that. But we're gonna ask questions again, like who's, for example, something, and then if we both agree, then we don't have to take a shot. If neither of us agree, we both have to take a shot. So we're both in this for the long run. Okay, who is better at makeup?
Who's better at makeup? I mean, like, we both don't wear that much makeup.
But if I had to maybe pick, because I used to wear more makeup, I'd say me. I used to.
Okay, I'll give you that because I'm gonna say I don't wear that much makeup because I don't know how to do it. That's
I used to wear more though. Remember,
I wish I knew how, but like I just don't.
Okay, so do we agree?
Yeah, I agree with you.
We're clear on the shots.
Yes, I agree with you.
Who is smarter? Like school wise, I want to say you. I never did good in school. Graduated though. Don't get me wrong.
I never did either. What was your GPA? Hold on, pause. What did you
I
graduate
think it was
with?
2.8. No, you're like 1.3.
2.8 is what you graduated with. What was your lowest ever?
I don't even remember it. 2.5. I don't think I was ever lower than that. What the fuck was yours?
Mine was like, I think the lowest was like 1.
No, it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you win. You win at being not smart. Okay, so do you
then
agree
I would say
wait, but no, please.
No, you're saying
you weren't supposed to
saying
ask.
me?
You weren't supposed to ask me my. See, now we're cheating.
Oh no, but you're saying I was. I would say probably you because I was gonna say
so
you. So we have to take a shot. Yeah.
You want to pour it now?
You pour it up
It's
for us.
kind of hard to do it.
Only half.
Half C's.
Half C's because we're gonna be. Okay.
Yeah. Imagine we would have had like a little random person in the back just standing there pouring it like. Okay.
Thank
We
you.
didn't agree on who's smarter.
Yeah.
The Ciroc's actually easy.
10-08.
You hear that? If you ever seen all these phones sitting somewhere.
10-08, guys.
Who is more popular?
You.
But are we talking, this tricky because are we talking Instagram followers? Because I think, I would say we're just as popular, but like not counting Instagram followers. So is that us disagreeing again? Is that us disagreeing, anybody? She said
Yeah.
this was It's a disagreement.
It's a disagreement. I would say, yeah, you.
I would say we're even. So even is a okay.
Even disagreement.
She's like, put it however you fucking say it in Spanish.
Say it in
like
Spanish.
it's
the
still a
same
disagreement.
thing.
How would you say it's a disagreement in Spanish?
Fuck. What is? You're putting me on the spot. Disagreement.
It's a. I don't agree with you. Like. They said ignore them. So.
Oh. You're like just ignore them. Okay.
So I still want you to say what
There.
the disagreement in Spanish is.
I honestly, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Are we good? Do we keep going or do we pause? Can you stop, please? Can you at least stop until like the plug? Are we still live though? Okay, so you talk. No, they can only hear you. So just. So how do you say disagreement in Spanish? They can't hear me, but.
How do you say disagreement in Spanish? Oh my. How do you say disagreement? Oh fuck. Disagreement. Guys, anybody out there? Vanessa?
Vanessa? Ah!
Disagreement? Fuck, disagreement? Like.
London shots fired, London. He's like, y'all both look Latina as fuck too. He's like.
Disagree. Like, I've never seen disagreement. I'm sometimes like, what? I honestly don't know.
Or how would you say like, no, that's not right?
No está bien. Eso no está bien.
No está bien.
Yeah, like. Desacuerdo, yeah. Desacuerdo.
Oh, that's what you. Oh yeah.
I mean, desacuerdo, yeah, I guess.
You're like, I was put on the spot.
Oh.
Are we still straight, Abe? Do you want us to pause for a
Yeah,
minute?
pause, yeah. We got to anyways for this anyways.
Abe, do you want to stop the... Someone tell me what's going on, please.
Just stop the video. Stop the video then.
Stop the video. Did we pause the live yet or no? They can't even hear us. They're just going to see us with no sound.
Oh.
I don't think that's bad, actually, if I ask them if they stop the live.
Look, National, well,
They can't hear nothing.
hopefully everybody can see me. Hopefully my... And I swear, no, you know what the funny thing is? This keeps going lower and lower. Like, it's...
Oh, it's loose.
And it keeps going lower and lower. Is it this?
Yeah. So pull it up. And then try pushing the end at the other end. Up.
Oh,
What's on your other side?
just a little knob thing, and then nothing. Like that. It just keeps going lower and lower. Oh, wait, stay. Oh, perfect.
Can we cut the live, please? You can't hear us, he said. But when you do get it, can you stop playing with stuff, Mama? You can play with it on yours. Just take a shot. Okay.
Did you want to get like another question, or do you want to wait?
Well, they can't hear us. It's just
Oh,
looks.
so just. Oh, but I know bullshit.
You offend people.
Ew! That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And then.
It's so visual.
And no, that's not it. Do you know any sign language?
No. Why do you?
My sister, she taught me how people clap. I think clapping is this. Clapping is this. Yeah, I think it's that. Yeah.
No, I don't know any.
My sister had asked me, how do you clap, like, you know, obviously to people that, you know, like, and I was like, this? She was like, well, no, it's good. So, okay.
Where did we leave off at? We're back.
Oh yeah, we're back.
I can never left again. What did we leave off at? We were already here.
Who's
but
the most
song.
the smartest? So after that one,
You're like, AKA.
I'm like, that's
Oh, no, who's
me.
more popular? That was it. And we
Oh,
already
popular. Oh yeah.
asked, who's more sensitive? Even? I'm gonna say even. That's
I-
my answer.
I would say so.
Okay, so
Because every time we have like, we always talk about stuff. I'm like, I would be sad too. I'm like, or I'd be pissed off. Yeah,
So
I
then
would say
agreed.
yeah.
So we-
I would agree with you.
We're like, whew, agree.
Yeah,
I don't. Who's more freakier in the sheets?
you, flat out.
Okay, so I think it's even. So that's a disagreement.
That's a disagreement.
Because
Oh my
I
God.
know you are the same. So no fucking
You're like,
try
I
me
stalk
on
you. Like I
live.
stalk you.
I'm like, I have secret cameras set up.
And you're, could you imagine?
I'm like, no, Ali, that's my bitch.
like that's my bitch.
So another shot.
Yep.
This is
Oh my gosh. Okay. Or maybe we fill it up all the way and then just take,
no, Ali, you're like, I'm gonna take mine and yours.
and you just take half of it, right?
Yeah,
Just do that.
that makes sense.
Or just take a sip.
Okay, hold on. Oh, mine's a little bit lower. Slightly.
Mine's okay. Just take a sip.
Okay.
3 shots is this, right?
Truth or shot?
Yes. With a shot. Oh, that would.
Okay.
Go on to the next. I'm ready.
Who has better taste in guys?
You.
Me. Okay, we agree.
I agree.
Who's more likely to get into a fist fight? No, Ali.
I would say so. I'm really a me.
Who is the thickest?
You.
Just 'cause I want to take shots. You.
No, you. I like me.
Who is the meanie? Me. You. Can you do the other ones after me?
Okay. Who is the best dancer?
You.
I've never seen you dance.
No, 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 that's
I'm
not
like, oh, what's the move? Okay, if you're at a club, what
You.
dance are you doing?
like what everybody does when they're drunk, like the.
When it's a salsa, you can imagine with like a hip hop song.
Imagine I was like a professional dancer. I'm like, I went to school for that.
You're in the middle of playhouse doing salsa.
That would be impressed. You agree with you too, right? You're like, no, because we.
I don't. Yeah, I would say. Does that disagree?
Ah!
I don't know who's the best dancer. We need to have a dance
You
off.
throw your phone, fuck it. Everyone
I'm
just
done with
kill
the
the
questions.
bottle.
Okay. Who has better music taste? Me.
Definitely, I'm like, it's a. I
Some-
mean,
okay.
okay.
You have
Yeah,
this
we can
stuff-
go into. We
But
had
some, no, pause, hold on.
you.
Because
Okay,
when
yeah.
we're going to the club, we're going somewhere
Oh,
hype.
definitely
you put-
not me
Hold
ever.
on, pause.
Ever.
You put your oldies on, and I'm like, there's a better
depends.
time for this.
The time
like
for
a
oldies is
better-
all the time. The time for oldies is
No,
all the time.
I'm like, anything else, Jasmine. And it's like a hot summer day. I rode with you one time when it was like a hot summer day. I'm
I
so
love it. I
excited.
want to
We're
hear it
going
right
out,
now.
And you're putting oldies on. I'm like, no, I'm like, anything else but this. So I would say me.
No, It depends. I'm into oldies, so I'd say me. You're like, now you're just being.
I'm like, now you're just
I'm
trying to
gonna
get me lit.
sip a little bit more.
Okay. Who is more responsible? Me.
Are you talking about like who gets?
Irresponsible, like life-wise, decision-wise, friends-wise, everything. I don't know.
All right, give me a second.
I would say me instantly.
Okay, but now, right now, I feel like I'm pretty responsible.
As of
I
now,
say now we're even.
Hold on. Say as of now, as of what?
Honestly, okay, actually, I disagree with you. I think I'm more responsible.
You
right now.
you two want me to take another shot?
I do. That's what I think right now. I do.
Okay,
think
so
I'm
because you want me to take another
responsible.
shot, or you really think
I
you're
really
more
do think
responsible?
Right
you think
now.
you're more responsible than me?
Right now, I do.
Really? Okay. She's being a hater, right? Let's go.
Everyone has their own. Why do people like? Everyone can feel their type of way. No.
Wait, you're done? Remember, I had more than you.
Oh yeah, I did say a little bit more. Just bussin'.
It's a